Jeffrey, we're kind of scrambling here, trying to find some time to actually get together. And you're a busy guy now, man. Starting to piss me off.
Got to make the magic happen, baby.
What's up? What's up with the real job thing? Come on.
Yeah, I know. Well, today was really exciting. It was very exciting.
Yeah.
I was out putting up windscreens.
Okay. Good.
So let's just get clear the air here. Tennis pro. Okay, yeah.
That's right.
Director.
There's actually
tennis.
some manual labor involved.
There's actually stuff involved with that, and just for all you guys out there, you young guys coming up that think that that's not your job, baloney.
Yeah.
No, you get out there with the ladder if it needs to get done,
That's
and,
right.
and stick the stinking screens up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
good.
That's
okay.
Just sorry. That's a little side. Not even a rant. Just saying. You got to know how to put nets up. You got to know how the screens work. You got to know what side of the fence you should be putting the screens on. If the wind's blowing from a certain direction, so if they rip out, they don't bend your poles down, but they actually rip away. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that you should really, if you're a teaching pro at a club, you need to know how this stuff works because you might be the guy there at that moment that needs to fix it. It could be Sunday afternoon. Somebody's got to know where the water main is to turn it off.
Bingo. That's right.
So there you go.
That's
Anyway,
right.
there you go. There's there's a nugget for you guys out there, right?
Well, listen, good. I mean, I'm kind of glad from time to time we scramble on this because it's a little bit like tennis, right? Singles or doubles. Sometimes the best laid plans. What are you gonna do? I mean, things go off the rail and you gotta make do with what you got and just kind of scramble. So. Guys, hey, thanks for hanging out with us again today. Another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. You can watch us on YouTube. You can listen to us on iTunes and other audio sources out there. Thanks for hanging out with us. And before we get on to today's topic, which Jeff is just, before we started the recording, he was going, man, I gotta talk about this thing. I just have to talk about this. And I'd suggested, I think, half a dozen other really, really what I thought were incredible things. And he goes, no, forget that. No, forget that one. I got something today. So we're going to get to that in just a second. But in the meantime, we want to make sure all the folks out there know that we're still offering a free private coaching call, 10-minute coaching call where you get on the phone with just you, me, and Jeff, three-way conference call. And we talk about that one thing in your game right now that is a little ouch. And we need to, we need to figure out how can we put you on that path to get the result that you eventually want. So the way to do that is go over to goldballhunting.com. Fabulous website over there, by the way.
Fabulous.
I'm telling you. And put in a first name, email address, and click the button, and you'll get immediate access to our online calendar scheduler. By the way, as you can tell, Jeff, the background is this is the first time you've seen this. I'm in. A lot of people, when they first look at it, say is that La Jolla? And I
La Jolla?
Yeah, or is it San Jose? No, it's La Jolla, California, right here next to San Diego. Kind of a. That's right. I was trying to complain to you about. Well, this is another story before we get into your topic today, which is I'm here for a tournament, and I was originally scheduled for 5:00 tonight to play some doubles, and so I left, and so I knew I had to leave the desert today around 11. Well, luckily I get a call from my partner yesterday who says, they've changed our doubles time tomorrow from 5:00 until 11:30, and I said, whoa, okay, well. I got to get out the door then at 7:30 this morning to be able to get here. So I get here. I'm all packed up. Everything's super efficient. Get in high, check in. They give me the room. I fire up the computers because it's raining, right? It had been raining. It started around 9 this morning, and forecast looked like I guess it would rain for another couple hours. So I figured my 11:30 is pushed back till 2, maybe 3, something like that. So I fire up the computer and I open up the website. I am playing at 2:00 tomorrow.
Nice.
And then I'm complaining to you, Jeff, going, God, can you believe it? And you go, Where are you?
I'm just.
Where are you? Can you see the beach out of your window? Yeah, how far is the
Yeah.
beach? It's
Yeah, I'm
about
sorry. I'm
50
stuck
feet.
at the beach, and it's in La Jolla.
Darn it. So we thought maybe a fun episode would be
God.
today just to talk about, hey, when you go to a tournament, sometimes you get delayed a day, right? You got to pay an extra hotel room, meals, but you are on the beach, so it's okay. It's going to work out.
Yeah, you got a couple choices. Do you want to be delayed in Yuba City, or do you want to be delayed in La Jolla? I don't know.
Well,
When you really weigh and measure.
yeah. And, the other good thing besides the beach is I do need a day off. You know me. I can't
Yeah,
keep myself out of the gym. I can't, stop calling Owen. Hey, come on, let's go. Let's go hit something. I can't stay off the
yeah,
grass courts in the afternoon. So kind of a forced day off today, which I need. Anyway,
it's good.
got beautiful out here. Sun's out, windy. So after we're done today, I'm gonna go take a little walk on the beach. Darn it. I know. Okay. All right. The people are everyone's hanging
Yeah,
up right now. So Jeff, listen, I know this thing is a topic that is just burning a hole in your brainstem over there. Doubles. Pete
yeah,
Thompson left a great comment for us over at YouTube a few days ago that we actually responded to yesterday, and I think we're going to do the same thing again today. And that is, when we're up at net and we get a volley that we can actually direct it somewhere, right?
right.
Sometimes we have reflex volleys. We're just trying to shove it back and just kind of stay in the point. But sometimes we get a volley where we actually have a choice. And why do we seem to hit the ball at the guy who's the closest to
Right.
us, and we do not win the point?
Right. It flips on you.
What's up with that? It's like,
Right. And this is a phenomenon I noticed with a lot of league players, and I think it's an outcropping of all the clinics and the drills, and I think it's a byproduct of that where in drills and in clinics, you're kind of you're moving, you're taking your split step, blah, blah, blah. You're getting this final sitter volley that's, 4 feet off the net and it's kind of hanging there. And maybe the pro puts the basket out like where the other player is. And, everybody's aiming at the basket and it's a gung ho. It's a, feel good kind of crush. That's great. The problem is and we're going to circle back now to the reality of that is that doesn't happen that often. The reality is that most of the time you're hitting your first or second volley well off the net. The challenge though is that here's where I think the blind spot is, and that is just because you're volleying doesn't mean you're at the net. You're not actually there yet. I mean, I know for me, even back in the day, serving and volleying, I was hitting my first volley somewhere just north or just south of the service line.
okay, so
First volley.
I think I misunderstood what you were talking about then. So you're talking about when you're transitioning from the baseline up to net, that too often we take that volley and we go with the net player as opposed. I thought you had said you're already up at net and you go at the. So I completely screwed this up. I mean, if you want, we can stop the recording right now and just kind of put this one in the trash can.
No, I think the individual has to understand where they are on the court, and I think that's the blind spot. It's if you get to where you're talking about, and you got a hanging, the hanging Chad.
That's right.
Bury the guy. Go ahead, bury the guy.
Yeah.
If it's within your range, go ahead and do it, or use a little direction and go to the open court and make sure nobody touches it. Right? There's a better idea. So for me, though, the big issue, though, is that too many times I see players just inside the service line, and maybe the ball's kind of up, and they kind of assume that they're supposed to bury this high volley at the net player.
Yeah.
The problem, though, is that the other net player isn't at the net either. they're just inside their service line or 2 or 3 feet inside the service line. So your volley is probably going to travel at least 25 feet. You can't hurt anybody from that far away. You can't hit it hard enough for them not to be able to reflex it back or find your open court and have that point flip on you. I've seen probably more points in league tennis flip because the volleyer chose to do that from that deeper position, and the opponent was able to reflex the ball or redirect the ball and get advantage in the point, and then the person who actually had the good setup volley to hit a good journeyman volley, they end up losing the point thinking they had the advantage. So that's what I was getting at.
No, I think that's good. That's a clearer picture then, because there's no question that that sometimes we take volleys, any kind of shot actually, and we don't consider where we are on the court, that if it does come back, are we going to be able to defend? And too often, you're exactly right, we take that volley and we go at the net player and we hit it actually too well. And now all of a sudden they've got the ball, but we haven't hurt them. And there's this big vacuum in the middle between me and my partner. It's just going, come on, baby. Come on, it's open. Let's go. Bring it back in here.
I'm backing my RV into that space, I mean, it's huge.
Well, so to me that is, a lot what I teach over at What's the Right Shot, which is where do you want the ball to land and where do you want to move to next? And what you just described is you don't have enough time to move to the next best court position.
You can't, because you got the ball to them too fast, but not fast enough to override their reflex volley. And listen, you know it, I know it, most everybody knows it. The reflex volley is the easiest volley to hit. Because you're not thinking, your hand is just squaring the ball, and you bunt it back.
So where would you tell your students they're transitioning, they're either on the service line, maybe a foot behind it, and they get that sort of what seems to be a high sitter? It's false advertising. You and I know that. Where should they take that volley?
Most of the time, I say go right back at the guy that just hit it, cross court, go deep at the returner. So here's the other scenario too that I think a lot of players kind of miss. If the returner has returned the ball from inside the baseline, there's a really good chance they haven't fully recovered back to a ground stroke position. They're hanging just inside the baseline. Go deep with your volley because their feet are exposed right now. And so a lot of players get caught themselves in that scenario, but that scenario is so popular, meaning somebody's hit their serve and they're a couple steps inside the service line, their recovery is not good. Or you hit the return from just inside the baseline, and again, the recovery isn't back into a good, strong ground stroke position or baseline position. And so in both those scenarios, that player's feet are exposed. So if you just drive a ball deep at them, they're going to have to retreat, short hop, do something that doesn't allow them to use their strokes. So if that's your play, that's where I say to go. Take advantage of the fact that the other players on the court aren't doing what you're not doing well either. And that's recover after that first ball. I know that sounds silly, but it's everybody at some point or another is failing that little test. That hit the return, got to recover, be ready for the next ball. And a lot of players don't do that well.
I would say the execution of that volley is tricky because a lot of players see it up high, even though they're not really in a good net position, and they just take it way too early. They're just so excited. They want to get to it. They want to take advantage of the opportunity, but it's not really an opportunity from where you are in the court, as you described it. It's not an opportunity to do anything, even though it seems like, gosh, the ball's up high, I should be doing something. So if what you're suggesting is that if that opponent is kind of inside their baseline, is to play it deep, then all the more reason to not take this thing early is to wait You know,
Yes.
you can move your body up, but don't stop the feet and then reach out and get way out in front, because
Right.
chances are the ball is now going to be in a deep dive. If it gets over the net, it's certainly not going to hurt that player
Yeah.
who's.
And yeah, that's another. Yeah, what you're bringing up there is another habit. When players get that ball high up, just above the shoulder line, they're up here. It's just that sweet, beautiful spot, and immediately the idea is they want to hit the ball down into the court.
Right.
Well, listen, if you're just inside the service line or just 5 feet inside the service line, there is no down. The geometry doesn't exist. And so what I teach there is I teach line of sight. And so what I'll do is I'll have the person stand 5 feet inside the service line and stand there, and I'll go to the other side, and I'll tell them, I'm going to place a ball on the court. You tell me when it's just above the net line. And I go, here you go. Anything from this point deeper is fair game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything inside that, you got to feather it. You got to massage that a little bit. And so it's asking too much at the 3-0, 3-5, 4-0 level to get that creative with that first volley. Yeah. So I always try to use line of sight for them to understand the geometry of what's actually going on with the ball.
I think sometimes players as well, they get a ball up high and their first thing is, look, I want to make this shot so that I want to get it down onto the court so I know I've kept the ball in play ASAP. Right? I want to get that ball down. So, okay, well, I got it over the net and down, it's in play. And, most people end up hitting the ball in the net. What I feel with that shot is I'm trying to, obviously I'm looking at the ball, but I'm thinking, what's the height of the net? I know the direction I want to take this shot, but what's the height of the net? And I just, in my mind's eye, I think I got to clear that sucker by a couple of feet. So I'm thinking, I am thinking depth, but I'm thinking, what's the height over the top of the net that I got to clear? I got to clear this in, because then it takes away that pressure of going, well, I got to sting this ball deep.
Right.
And no, you don't. I mean, you can hit it with medium pace, and if it ends up landing back there around the feet, you've done exactly.
Exactly. So if you know that the person who's hitting the return is not the fastest horse in the barn, then take that volley and actually don't play it so hard. Actually play it short, but just play it. Don't worry about making some creative great angle there. Just play it short into the service box, and let them fumble around trying to move up to it and dish something up to you.
Yeah.
I think it's just way too often it's the idea of you finally get to hit a volley. Well, you're supposed to do something magical with it, and if you want to do magic, quit hitting it at people and start hitting it to the open court.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Once you've got position, but the bottom line is most of the time you're going to hit that first volley right back at the guy that just hit it to you.
Right.
And then now you finally have position inside the service line, which means now you're starting to see gaps. You can see where the short angle is, where the deep down the center is, depending on what type of ball you get. But I think just to circle back, I think the habit of always hitting your volley at the net player across the net is just a horrible habit.
Well, and how about the volley where you actually get a ball that's down low? You're already up at net, or maybe you're still transitioning. And what do we see all the time, Jeff? We see players going, well, I'm supposed to go at the net guy, and now the ball's coming up to the net guy.
Right.
And now your partner's going, oh, crap. So
I live for those volleys if I'm on the other side of the net.
That's
there.
right.
Oh God, the guy's digging in the dirt. Here I come. That is
right.
To me is like that is a green light. I am like where is it?
Yeah, I don't want it. Good. All right. Anyway. Well, sorry for butchering the trying to tee you up on this, but
no, it was exactly right.
Hey, I'm here in La Jolla, so
yeah,
I'm
crying your eyes out.
Totally out of my element here. All right, guys, listen, thanks for hanging out with us again today. Quick reminder, free private coaching call if you want. It's only 10 minutes. But, bring that number one thing in your game right now that you are not figuring out, that if you could start getting that result that you want, that would be kind of cool. Maybe it'd be where to take that volley. Where do I play that high volley? Well, Jeff and I can possibly help you with that.
Absolutely.
The way to get on that free call, go over to goldballhunting.com, first name, email address, and then click the button, and you'll get access to the online calendar where you get to cherry pick the date and time that works best for you. Jeff, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
We'd love you to like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below.
Outstanding. Guys, get out there today. Get out there, the Pacific Ocean's right out there.
Nice.
There's when we're done, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to, walk around a little bit. Seagulls, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to try to help someone else, enhance their day today. So guys,
Nice.
until next time, I don't know. What do I say now, Jeff? I can't wait. No, that's you.
Can't wait. I can't wait.